Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone here at the Cowboy and the Cowboy Classic. This was a tremendous venue. This is a tremendous place to play a game. Great atmosphere, great experience for our kids to be on this stage, and I think we'll learn a lot from that. And right now, I think as a team, we're a work in progress. We all know that. We have some good players, but we still have to play good and have to coach better. And we all have to look at ourselves in all three phases and get better. But still, our team, we understand how to win games, and we're doing a good job. I'm proud of them for doing that. A lot of credit to Oklahoma State. I thought they did a heck of a job. I told you Mike's got a good football team, and he's a heck of a football coach. He's done a great job for a long time. And I think hopefully this will be a good learning lesson for our guys in that, you got to play great. It's not about being great, it's about playing great. And our preparation and things, we got to get better. We got to hone in on some little things in all of our phases of what's going on. And say we're an opening game, and hopefully we'll make a lot of improvement to the next week and keep getting better. And like I said, last year's team was the same way. We got better every week. We got to continue to do that. But last year is over, and I think tonight will help us get over that. I think we were still not living in that way, and we all preached it, but I think they felt the pressure of being number one. I really do. And so now I think we can relax and realize we got to go play football. And that's over with. Now relax and be the team we can be and move on down the road, and I'm looking forward. I still think we have a chance to be a very good football team. Anxious to coach these boys. Questions?
Okay, Coach, thank you. We'll take the first question for Coach. We got one on the middle and then one on the front.
Yes.
Coach Cedric Bailey, Levita News. Can you talk about how well your defense was able to contain Hill, number 24 of the Cowboys, because he was all over the place today?
Well, we did. I mean, we lost leverage. We lost leverage on the edge at times, and they got him the ball in different ways and did a heck of a job. And he was one heck of a football player. Like I said, we recruited that young man. We knew how good he was, and they did a good job of getting him the ball in space and returns and different things he did, and he's a heck of a player.
Question on the front.
Dennis Dodd, CBSSports.com. Jimbo, human nature, and you've been through this before, after winning a national championship, is to let down, be the hunter instead of the hunted. How did you deal with that, and how do you deal with it now?
You constantly educate, but I think tonight's a great learning tool. And I don't think we let down. I think we were just worrying, and once we got going, worrying, okay, I don't want to lose this game. Worrying about results. I keep telling her, you don't worry about results. You worry about the process of playing well, executing well, doing the little things. The results will come. And quit worrying about everybody else's expectations and play your own game.
Question in the middle, all right.
Hey, Coach, Ben Beatty from the Denton Record Chronicle, right here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, you're good. At that point in the game, that intentional grounding by Mario Edwards that he caused, I mean, how big was that for y'all?
Very critical. It changed the momentum and gave us the ball back where we could get points. And we daggone had a little rail route. We ran that almost out of bounds when we got it back, and that cost us a situation there. But that was a big play by Mario, a critical play by Mario.
Question on the aisle about halfway back.
Coach Asher Wallman, WCTV. Did it seem like week one was more about surviving it than winning it when you say your players were just kind of trying to get over that hump?
I think we were once we got into the game. That's what it seemed like in the game. And I said, and the thing I was proud about in our game, which is very rare and hard to overcome at times, we lost momentum of the game. They had momentum in the football game. And usually the team that wins momentum wins the game. That's why I'm very proud of, we never had momentum, but we kept fighting, scratching, and clawing and figured out a way to win the game. But I do think what you said is true.
Question on the front.
Gene Williams, Warchant.com.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach. It seemed like your one steadying influence on offense was Rashad Greene. Just talk about his performance tonight, what he gave you.
I mean, just being where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. Rashad is like I say, he's that rock. He always has been. He's been the guy that's kind of, he's really not under the radar when you look at the numbers, but he is in point because he's so quiet and unassuming. But he can just play the game and like a silent assassin. And we found ways to get him the ball when we had to, and he made plays when he had to. He's a big-time player, a tremendous human being.
Got a question on the outside right.
Yeah, Jimbo, George Schroeder, USA Today. I wonder, can you describe what you saw when J.W. Walsh went around the end there and P.J. got to him? What did you see as that play unfolded?
Oh, when he cut him, when he went out just, and he was coming down, he was losing track of the ball when he hit the ground, and he flipped him, and that was a critical play and got the turnover.
We got a question on the aisle, second row. Just a moment until we hit the microphone.
Irish Showfellow,
Yep.
Warchant.com. Jimbo, could you talk about Jameis's play? He had some nice throws, but also maybe he forced a couple.
He did. He forced it. He got a ball on 3rd and 10 down there with. It was disappointing that we dropped the ball in first. That drive down there was critical. We were up 10-0. Dropped the ball in the flat for a 5-yard gain. and we missed a slant, which might have scored or got down there, and then we third down, we got a little greedy one time. And then right before half, we hit the first down. We go 2 minutes once we get to the 30, and we feel very comfortable. We had to go, and you know, he just tried to squeeze the ball in there. And you know, sometimes that's what great players do. But then he got his bearings back, and you know, and lost. I mean, you know, lost feel for the game, got it back, come back and played, and played a pretty good second half. So, but he did. He forced 2 balls there, and we'll learn from it and get better.
Got a question in the middle right.
Coach, how big was J.W. Walsh there in the second half and keeping Oklahoma State in that game?
Well, I thought him and Tyreek Hill, all those guys, they were throwing the football, running the quarterback runs, and getting to the edge. And I told you, they got a great football team and always have done a good job there. And they were very instrumental in leading that team.
Question on the front.
Yeah, Ivan Mazel, ESPN.com. Jimbo, looked like you played very well coming out of the gate. What do you think happened?
Well, I just think, you know, you sometimes when you play well, you've had success, and they made plays. We did that, the red zone opportunity. When you have chances to put people away and get up 3 scores, and that changes the game. When you get up 3 scores, and we were up 10-0, we threw the pick down there, and then we come back and got up 17-0, and we gave up a drive. And we said, well, what was disappointing? We weren't kicking the ball like we wanted to be, as deep and as long in the places we were, and they were getting field position. They got that drive before half to make it 17-7, and then when we went. Maybe I shouldn't have went 2 minutes, but I was doing. We hit the 30, and I feel very confident in Jameis and our players. That's where we go 2 minutes. We had a minute left in the half. We had 2 timeouts. We were able to move the ball there, and we threw a pick, and that lost the momentum. Now we got the score coming out again, but again we got stopped in the red zone. That's one thing we didn't play. We didn't convert touchdowns in the red zone. Had to kick some field goals, and then they come back and hit the bubble pump, and then hit the guy in the seam, and all of a sudden momentum's changed, and it's a real ball game.
Question on the aisle.
Coach Dave Michaels, North Texas Sports Network.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about Jameson's touchdown run. You almost become a fan when you watch him run like that, and he hurdles people and
he does.
Spins around.
He becomes a competitor. I mean, that's the thing about him that you love when you coach him. Even when he's not playing at his best or whatever goes on, there's still a competitor in him. If I got to run, I got to hit somebody, I got to get hit, whatever I got to do to get in the end zone or make plays for my team. That's what he does, and that was a heck of a play.
Okay, we got that question answered, so we got a question back here on the second row.
Coach Bud Elliott, TomahawkNation.com. Are you surprised, or do you think that Jameis has the trust in the other receivers? He seems to be targeting Rashad Greene, over and over again. Is that taking longer than you thought it would?
No, it's because I called it. Game was on the line. Game was on the line. You go to your money guy, and he was a guy who tried to O'Leary. But one of the things they were doing, they were playing some leverage on Nick too, that created leverage for him to get open, and that was what was going back to. I mean, if you're able to get your best player the ball, you keep getting your best player the ball. He hit 89, made some real nice plays in the game. Caught a nice post and got some balls. I think Kermit had, 4 or 5 catches in the game. Caught some nice balls in the flat. I think all those, where's the numbers at right here? Let me see. Rashad had 11, Carlos had 5, Kermit 3, Nick O'Leary 3, and Christian had 2, but he had 1 big post and he had the big play in the beginning. He probably had about 70, 80 yards of receiving too. So.
Got a question on the aisle, second seat.
Ira Warchant again. Jimbo, how good was it to get Mario Pender on the field in that first run he had?
Really good. And I tell you what, the first carry and got in the end zone, and this guy's going to be a player. And we'll get him more. And we got to get Dalvin too. We had a plan to get Dalvin. The game got crazy, and we'll get him in the game. I promise. He's ready to play. We'll get him in there too. But I was very proud of Mario in the game. I mean, just the look in his eye when he was on the sideline and coming off, telling you what was going on. I mean, it wasn't starry-eyed, man. It was a guy that, hey, I'm in this game and fit in. He's going to be a heck of a player for us.
Got a question on the aisle. Halfway back.
Hey, Coach, in that first half, it looked like Jameis had some open lanes to take off and run with it, but is this something you don't want him to do, or
No.
does he have free run?
No, he has free run to do whatever. I mean, he first half he had those 2 interceptions, but other than that, I think he played pretty well. He had the 2 forced plays, but he's got to be able to run the football. He can scramble and do some things. I actually, there's a couple times I wish he had thrown the ball away. He took a couple sacks that I didn't think that we shouldn't have taken. Put us in bad field position. We got to work on that and get the ball out of his hand.
Got a question in the middle, halfway on the left side.
Yeah, Jimbo. Corey Clark, Tallahassee Democrat. Do you think, you touched on it when you started talking, do you think it could end up being a good thing that you were challenged?
Oh, no doubt. Anytime you get challenged in the adversity, and again, we didn't ever swing the momentum. They still had the momentum in the game. And then, but you know what was critical? We were able to go out there and get that first down too in Green at the end of the day and get that big first down to run the clock down was very critical. Again, doing little things that we had to win. We didn't play well like we wanted to play, but that's a lot of credit goes to Oklahoma State. But we still made critical plays when we had to make critical plays, and there's something to that. And I want to check that rule. I can't figure out that rule where if a guy's helmet comes off That was detrimental to us. That needs to be looked at because there's 42 seconds on the clock. That would have ran down to 2 seconds. Then that play is automatic 3 seconds. So we ran the fourth down play, ran the ball, the clock had been over. We had to drop back and throw that ball out of the end zone with 6 seconds. That was I got to look at that one. That one educated me on that one.
Tell him to make sure the ball's in the air 6 seconds.
Yep, and throw it out of the back of the end zone. And get a guy out of the back.
We got a question
Get max protection. Tell him hold on to the ball, sling it out the back. And that, we can usually get to 8 when that we have to. That's something we work on. We talk about that.
Coach Jason Staples, MillDigest.com. You did mention, as good as Pender had looked, you did have more trouble running the football, I think, than maybe
much
was
more.
anticipated.
They did a great job.
What were they doing up front in terms of?
They moved and ran to our spots and got safeties down involved. That's why we were able to get the play action shots. I mean, they were getting 8 and 9 guys involved in the run. Their safeties were playing 9 yards to 8 yards deep. They were triggering and coming downhill quickly. They were doing a good job up front, getting penetration and getting 9 guys down in there and forcing us to throw the football. And that's why we were able to hit some of those big passes over the top that we did. And then people play quarters, and when you get 7, you get your front 4, your 3 backers, and those 2 safeties. That's really a 9-man box when you're starting to go that way. And they did a real nice job. They really did. Those were hard fought out yards Carlos had in that ball game.
This is our final question for Coach, and we'll bring our student athletes in a moment.
Gene Williams from Warchant.com again. Coach, it seemed like your defensive line rotation was pretty small in this game. You're going against an up-tempo team. Are those guys getting wore out a little bit?
They did a little bit, and I think the loss of not having a couple guys that we normally have there, that it could be we got to get that rotation bigger and feel more comfortable playing more guys, and some guys got to play better in practice so we feel comfortable putting them in the football game. We're going to need everybody because that's the way it's going to be a long season. We got to keep developing these guys. But sometimes when you get in the game, it's so heated like that, it's hard to break in new guys right off the bat in the game and the competition and atmosphere like that.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. What we're going to do, we've changed the program a little bit. We're going to do one-on-one with the student athletes. We're going to bring them down here.